Hello and welcome to round 3 of the Race Department Game Stock Car Championship from the Ayrton Senna International Autodrome, better known as Londrina, in Brazil. And on pole once again was Adrian McNaughton with his teammate Gaczella alongside him on the front row. Kenneth Yearman was in 3rd position with Felix Luding in 4th, Sergio Junior in 5th position, and newcomer to the series George Talbot qualified in an excellent 6th position. Alexandre Sene, our race 1 winner, was in 7th with Ivo Simons alongside him on the 4th row of the grid, and Bram Hedgeveld and Dan Watson rounded out the top 10. So as the field head through the final corner and onto the pit straight for the single file rolling start, and Adrian McNaughton once again has got a good getaway from Gaczella, his teammate, with Kenneth Yearman straight in behind, and we're on board with George Talbot as he's looking to get by Sergio Junior as they head through the first part of the Londrina circuit, and he goes through and takes that position away from Sergio Junior as they head through the Estadio section. And here's Gaczella coming up on his teammate Adrian McNaughton as they head into the left-hander, and Gacella's going through on the inside and takes the position away from Adrian McNaughton. So Gaczella moves into the lead as he did in Interlagos, and Kenneth Yearman and Felix Luding behind them in 3rd and 4th positions, and George Talbot up to 5th. As I was saying, here's Adrian McNaughton coming back on Gaczella though, and the Storm Racing teammates heading down the back stretch, and McNaughton is on the inside. George Talbot pulling out of the slipstream as well, looking for a way by, and McNaughton takes the lead once again from Gaczella, so good move there from McNaughton. Here we are with Felix Luding and George Talbot, and George Talbot's on the inside of Luding looking for a way through. There's no way through there, but he might be sneaking up the inside into the tighter left-hander, and he does so. So he takes 4th position away, although Luding still on the outside, still fighting back, but George should be able to slide in front of him, and does so and takes the position. We're on board now with Sene as he's behind Sergio Junior, and Sene looking for a way through on the inside of Sergio Junior, the Portuguese driver, as they head down the pit straight, and it's a sweeping right-hander at the end, and Sene using his push to pass to get by Sergio Junior, the Monsal Motorsports driver, and he does so. So Sene making good progress early on, although he's missed the first apex of the Estadio section. Junior looking for a way back past Sene, and does so. So immediately retaking that position from the Brazilian driver, and an excellent move there to take it back from Alexandre Sene. Here's Dan Watson and Bram Hedgeveld, and they're following Ivo Simons. Hedgeveld coming out of the slipstream using the push to pass, and takes the position away from Dan Watson. Those two had a brilliant battle at Interlagos last time out. Here's Junior and Sene once again, so Sene obviously doesn't want to lose that position for too long, and he ducks out of the slipstream as well, and it is a left-hander at the end of the straight. It's a very quick left-hander, but Sene got the overlap and made the move stick early on, so he takes the position back from Junior. Here's Andy Smith and Bruno Maurer in the background as well. Smith's run wide over the curbs, and that is number 12, Luis Diniz, and here comes Bruno Maurer as well on the inside of Diniz, and there's contact between the two. They're side by side and they both spin, and Bruno Maurer is into the wall, and he's lost the front end of his car, and Diniz is able to continue, and Nathan Robinson, I think that was going through there. Here's McNaughton, Gaczella, then Kenneth Yearman, George Talbot up to 4th from his good start. So those four battling away well. Here's Diogo Machado, and he's trying to overtake Dave Begley, and Machado does so, and Begley's got into the side of him, and that's Machado going round into the wall. He's flipped his car, and he's upside down, and the car just about recovers itself to all 4 wheels, but that's not the first time Diogo Machado has been involved in an incident this season. That one not his fault, I don't think. There was definitely contact from Begley. Here we are on board, and that's number 35 we're going by, which is Ken Hunter, the South African, and Ken Hunter losing out there. And here is George Talbot and Kenneth Yearman with Felix Luding in straight behind them, and Luding's going up the inside of George Talbot, who was a little bit balked by Kenneth Yearman, and that's Alexandre Sene immediately behind them. So Talbot's lost out to Luding, and he'll be under pressure from Sene, who is very quick in these cars as they go through the left-hander, able to use a little bit of tarmac on the exit, and Talbot's got a better run than Luding, who is in behind Kenneth Yearman, and Luding looking to go around the outside, and Kenneth's defending well, and does just about manage to stay in front of Luding, who was looking very racy indeed there. And Talbot's now gotten a bit of an overlap on Luding, and it's a left-hander at the end of here, and Talbot brakes a little bit later, just about avoids sliding into Luding, and takes the position away from Felix Luding. And that's Sene once again in the background. Here's Patrick Giranthon, and he's coming up on Bruno Maurer, and that's Jari Vanari in the background, and Patrick Giranthon's run a little bit wide over the curbs, and here comes Jari Vanari, the RPM driver. He goes up the inside. Is he going to take the position away from Giranthon? It's a very long sweeping left-hander here, and that's number 44, which is Anders Nielsen in behind as well. And Vanari still sweeping in front of Giranthon. It's a left-hander here. Giranthon straight in behind Vanari, but Vanari takes the position away from Giranthon, and now that's Anders Nielsen looking for a way by Giranthon as well. And that is number 89, which is Diogo Pinto, Sergio Junior's teammate, and he's going up the inside of Giranthon as well. So Giranthon losing quite a few positions in just a couple of corners there, all from that one mistake bumping over the curbs. And he's going to be under pressure from Corrado Conti, I think that was. Here's Yerman, and he's bumped over the curbs as well, and Talbot nearly into the back of him. And coming through out of all of that was Felix Luding, and he's going to take the position away from Yerman, who's got it, and Sene's got into Yerman there. And Yerman's gone round 180 degrees, and he's going to do a flick spin. And he's rejoining behind, I think that was Consalves, or it may have been Bruno Maurer. And Anders Nielsen. That looked like Sene just waiting perhaps to let the driver, Kenneth Yerman it was, back through. So it's very honourable of him. And as I'm talking about that, Nielsen's going up the inside of Jari Vanari, and takes the vision away from him. And that's Diogo Pinto in the background as well, sniffing around. McNaughton and Gaczella are the class of the field though, and on lap 9 McNaughton is still leading from Gaczella, but Gaczella wants to get the position back from his teammate, and the number 66 of Emmanuel Gaczella goes up the inside of McNaughton and takes the lead away from his teammate. Here's Dan Watson, and he's jumping over the curbs, and that's Sergio Junior straight in behind him as well, and Junior looking for a way by the Portuguese driver. And here we go, Sergio Junior going up the inside, and Dan Watson fairly defensive there, although he's looking to cut back on Sergio Junior, but I think Sergio Junior's got this one made, although he's run a little bit wide over the curbs. Dan Watson on the inside now as they head through the left-hander. Junior still on the outside, and it's a right-hander now, so Junior has defended that position well. There's contact between the two, and Junior's bumped over the curb, so Dan Watson able to take the position back. A little bit of contact there, but nothing untoward. I think that was just circumstantial, and that's Bram Hengeveld as well, looking for a way by. And as they head through the right-hander towards the Estadio section, Hengeveld brakes a little bit later and takes the position away from Sergio Junior. So he has, although Junior's coming back at him here, Junior on the inside, but Bram Hengeveld was looking to get back to the back of Dan Watson. They had a bit of a battle at Interlagos, as I was saying before, but Junior's now the meat in the sandwich until he takes the position away from Dan Watson. So a good move there from Junior as Watson ran wide, and Junior pounced on that one. Now Hengeveld is indeed behind Dan Watson. Here's Adrian McNaughton, and he's still behind Emmanuel Gaczella, his Storm Racing teammate. And McNaughton's lost the back end, and he's gone sideways across the pit straight, reverses into the wall. I don't know what happened there. It looked like he missed a shift or something. That's number 23, which is Ivo Simons coming through. But McNaughton dropped way back into the pack there from that mistake, and he's got some work to do to get back to the leaders. Here's Dan Watson and Sergio Junior, and Dan Watson going right round the outside of Junior as they head towards the Estadio section, and it's the left-right chicane, and Watson does take the position away from Sergio Junior. Here's Bram Hengeveld up behind Watson, so Junior's either got ahead of the pair of them. In fact, he has got ahead of the pair of them. So here we go, Hengeveld on the inside, Dan Watson on the outside, and Hengeveld, the RPM driver, takes the position away from Dan Watson. So a good move there from Hengeveld as they head onto the pit straight. Here is Alexandre Sene and Kenneth Yerman. So Sene did indeed wait for Kenneth Yerman to come back through, which is very honourable of him. And Kenneth Yerman getting a little bit sideways on the power, a little bit too much power there, and Sene takes advantage of that mistake by Kenneth Yerman and moves up into 9th position, I think. Here's Adrian McNaughton coming back through the pack. He's up behind Ivo Simons, the Black Rebels driver, as they head into the quick left-hander, and McNaughton indeed has taken that position away from Ivo Simons. That looked like a push-to-pass overtake to me, so a good move there. Here's Hengeveld and Dan Watson, and Dan Watson in behind Hengeveld. He's engaged his push-to-pass. Look at the amount of extra speed he's got. That almost looked like Hengeveld lifted off actually for that one. That was heading down the back straight towards Curvao. I think that's the name of that corner. Here is number 93, which is now George Talbot. He's in Fabio Silva's skin, and he is using the push to pass as well, and takes the position away from Luding, who wants to take the position straight back again. Look, and this is for the final podium position, and Luding engages his push to pass and takes the position away as they head into the first section of the lap. So those two having a good battle. Here's Cedric Lagneau and Patrick Giranthon, which I believe are two Frenchmen, and indeed they are, and Giranthon looking to take the position from Lagneau as they head down the back straight into the Curvao corner, and he moves up in front of Lagneau, his compatriot, and takes position away. That's for the lower points paying positions. Here's Simons and Luding, and they're battling over the 6th position, and Luding was a little bit higher up than Ivo Simons earlier on, but Simons making good steady progress, and Luding takes the position back from Ivo Simons, using his push to pass probably in that incident. Here is Felix Luding in behind Diogo Pinto, who's had a good run to get onto the back of Sergio Jr., who is his Monsau Motorsports teammate, and Luding's going up the inside. That was a very late dive, and he was a bit lucky that Diogo Pinto saw him there, and although Pinto wants to take the position straight back and dives up the inside very late on the brakes, and he's run wide as a result, and Luding moves back in front of him, so those two swapping positions twice in as many corners, and now Ivo Simons is in behind Diogo Pinto. Lap 27 of 41, so there's plenty of time left in this race, and Pinto got a little bit sideways off the exit of that corner, and he's going to lose out to Sene as well as Ivo Simons. So Alexandre Sene moves up in front of Diogo Pinto, and now Sene immediately onto the back of Felix Luding as they head through the final part of the lap, and he's going to look to use the push to pass on the pit straight to take the position away. And in fact, he doesn't even need to do that, he's just going to take it straight from Felix Luding as they head onto the pit straight. So here we go. Luding, is he going to use a push to pass to take the position back from Sene? It doesn't look like it, so Sene taking that one away. Here's Talbot and McNaughton, so McNaughton's caught up to and overtaken George Talbot, but George Talbot's having none of it. He wants to take the position back from Adrian McNaughton, and he's going up the inside as they head towards Curvao, and is he going to be able to make it stick? Adrian McNaughton still battling around the outside, but indeed George Talbot moves up in front. He got a bit squirmy under the power though, and Adrian McNaughton immediately takes it back from him, and that's Cedric Lagneau sniffing around in the background as well. Still side by side as they head through the final part of the lap, and is George Talbot going to battle his way around the outside? He's trying to. McNaughton's still there on the inside. Great racing between these two, no contact at all as they head onto the pit straight, and Talbot moves in front of McNaughton once again, and they're still battling. They're lapping traffic. That's number 79, which is Andy Smith, and number 30, Adrian McNaughton, is going through George Talbot as they head once again towards the Curvao corner, and McNaughton moves up in front of George Talbot, so that might actually be that move made. But our winner of round 3 was Emmanuel Gaczella, and he takes the victory, and that's a well-deserved victory for him. McNaughton made the mistake, and those two have been battling throughout the duration of this season, so an excellent victory there for Emmanuel Gaczella. Adrian McNaughton, who after making that mistake battled his way back into 2nd position, with George Talbot, our newcomer to this series, in 3rd position, an excellent 3rd position for him. Alexandre Sene in 4th place, with Sergio Jr. in 5th. Felix Luding and Ivo Simons were in 6th and 7th positions respectively, with Kenneth Yearman, Bram Hengeveld and Anders Nielsen rounding out the top 10. Join us again at Velo Park, which is in a few days' time, but thanks for watching and see you then.